Lightworker of Gaia, the elders are preparing a table in front of your enemies, and the honor hidden through your trials is about to be seen. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. Your ancestral codes have carried you through opposition because your original blueprint was never designed for obscurity. The first light within you was meant to stand where all could witness it. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize your ancestral mission and anchor your Lightworker purpose on Gaia. But here's the first revelation. The exposure of your glory is not revenge against your enemies. It is the restoration of truth, allowing your sacred mission to speak through your life without apology. The elders have watched your patience, your restraint, and your faith. What was meant to shame you has become evidence of your cosmic lineage. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. You are awakening because your mission has begun. If something in you recognized the weight of what was spoken, do not dismiss that recognition. The Lightworker Mission Codex has been prepared for this exact threshold. It contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the Elder authorization designed to help you move from hidden preparation into visible service. You will find it in the first pinned comment below this video. Receive it only if your soul is finished asking for another sign and ready to accept its commission. Now remain present. What is being prepared before you is not merely vindication. Vindication still places your enemies at the center of the story because it waits for them to admit what they denied. The table being prepared is not for your ego to feast upon their regret. It is being prepared so the truth of your assignment can no longer be concealed by their misunderstanding. There are people who benefited from your silence. There are systems that depended on your self-doubt. There are individuals who could only remain comfortable while you questioned your value, reduced your vision, and apologized for the strength that was placed within you. They did not always oppose you openly. Some smiled while redirecting you away from your purpose. Some offered concern when what they truly offered was containment. Some called your discernment judgment, your boundaries rejection, your confidence arrogance, and your spiritual authority a threat. They wanted the light within you to remain useful, but not visible. They wanted your compassion, your labor, your listening, your loyalty, and your gifts, but they did not want the full authority that came with those gifts. They were comfortable with the version of you that healed everyone else, while ignoring your own wounds. They were comfortable when you carried the vision, but allowed someone else to claim the credit. They were comfortable when you remained available, apologetic, and uncertain. The elders have watched this carefully. They have not mistaken your restraint for weakness, and they have not mistaken your suffering for failure. They saw the moments when you could have answered accusation with accusation, but chose to preserve your energy. They saw the nights when you were tempted to abandon the path, because those who had less integrity appeared to advance more quickly. They saw you continue to create, serve, pray, build, and endure, while your name was misunderstood in rooms you were not permitted to enter. They saw the silent victories no one celebrated. They saw you get out of bed when your spirit felt heavy. They saw you keep your heart open without allowing every person to reach it. They saw you choose not to become cruel after being treated carelessly. They saw you give up the desire to retaliate, even when you had enough information to expose what others had done. But the Council must correct something within you now. You have been waiting for your enemies to become fair before you allow yourself to become fully visible. You have been waiting for those who diminished you to acknowledge your depth. You have been waiting for those who misrepresented you to correct the record. You have been waiting for an apology, an invitation, a public recognition, or some unmistakable sign that the people who rejected your light now understand what they lost. This waiting has become a chain. The false belief is this: your honor cannot be established until those who dishonored you agree that you were worthy. That belief did not originate in your soul. It was installed through 3D programming that taught you to measure reality by public approval. It was reinforced by wounded healer culture, which trained you to endure mistreatment while calling endurance compassion. It was deepened by spiritual bypassing, which told you that if you were truly evolved, you would not need justice, boundaries, recognition, or material support. This is not the wisdom of the elders. You do not become more spiritual by allowing falsehood to define you. You do not prove your purity by remaining available to people who repeatedly violate your trust. You do not honor the Creator by hiding the gifts you are sent here to use. Forgiveness does not require continued access. Compassion does not require self-abandonment. Humility does not require you to deny the evidence of your own transformation. Even Scripture teaches that there is a time to gather and a time to separate, a time to speak and a time to remain silent, a time to build and a time to cast away what has exhausted its purpose. Jesus did not entrust himself to everyone who admired his signs, and even the wise kept certain things hidden until the appointed hour. Discernment is not a failure of love. It is love guided by truth. Hear this clearly. The table is not being prepared because your enemies have earned the privilege of witnessing you. It is being prepared because the season of your concealment is ending. They may see you rise. They may see your work gain reach. They may see the relationships, opportunities, and resources that once seemed beyond your reach begin to gather around you. They may witness you become peaceful without their approval. They may watch you receive what you once begged them to recognize. But their witnessing is a consequence, not the purpose. Your purpose is service. The sabotage occurred when you made their reaction more important than your assignment. You edited your voice so certain people would not feel challenged. You delayed launching the work because someone from your past might criticize it. You refused to charge fairly because you feared being called greedy. You remained emotionally available to those who had already demonstrated that they were not safe for your becoming. You kept explaining yourself to people who had already chosen their interpretation of you. This is why you have felt exhausted even when you were doing spiritual work. You were not only carrying your mission, you were carrying the courtroom of other people's opinions. You were trying to be the witness, the defendant, the attorney, and the judge in a case that never deserved jurisdiction over your future. The elders now close that courtroom. You are not required to present additional evidence to those committed to misunderstanding you. You are not required to return to the scene of your humiliation and perform your healing for the people who caused the wound. You are not required to make your future small enough that your past relationships can remain comfortable. The light within you was never placed there for negotiation. The High Council has reviewed the pattern, and the ruling is final. The season of proving your worth to those who benefit from denying it is over. Your honor will be seen, but first it must be embodied by you. You must stop waiting for an external witness to confirm what the deepest part of you already knows. The first directive is this: release the need for your enemies to understand your transformation. Their understanding is not a prerequisite for your advancement. Some people will only recognize your value after they can no longer access it, and some will never recognize it because doing so would require them to confront their own dishonesty. Neither outcome is your assignment. You cannot build a life around the hope that another person's conscience will become active. Release the rehearsed conversations. Release the imaginary courtroom in which you finally explain every detail and everyone applauds your innocence. Release the habit of checking whether those who rejected you are watching. Release the urge to display your progress as evidence against their former opinion. The life you are building is not a courtroom exhibit. It is a living sanctuary. Every hour spent wondering whether someone regrets losing you is an hour taken from the work that is waiting for you. Every attempt to make the past understand your present keeps one foot planted in an expired identity. When you follow this directive, your energy returns to you. The attention that was trapped in surveillance becomes available for creation. The anger that kept you connected to the past becomes discernment for the future. You stop asking, "Will they see me now?" and begin asking, "Who is ready to receive what I came here to give?" Implement this by refusing to revisit the same explanation after it has already been offered once. If a person has chosen distortion, more information will not necessarily create truth. When the urge arises to check their page, review their response, or imagine their reaction, place your hand over your heart and say, "Their recognition is not my authorization." Then redirect yourself into one tangible act that strengthens your mission. Send the message, complete the work, publish the offering. Rest without guilt. Your release must become practical. The second directive is this: activate your visible authority. You were not sent to Gaia merely to carry insight privately. You were sent to translate what you know into action. Language, structure, protection, healing, art, leadership, teaching, invention, or service. The form will differ, but the requirement does not. Your light must become usable. A lamp hidden beneath a vessel cannot illuminate the room. A seed kept forever in the hand can never become a tree. Your wisdom must enter the world through your choices, your voice, your work, and your willingness to be found. You are not here only to know. You are here only to know. You are here to embody what you know, so another person can recognize a path through your example. For too long, you have mistaken invisibility for safety. You have called postponement discernment even when fear was making the decision. You have waited until your voice was perfectly polished, your history perfectly resolved, your body perfectly regulated, and your circumstances perfectly aligned. This standard was never given to you by the elders. It was given to you by a world that prefers powerful people to remain in preparation forever. Authority does not mean domination. It means accepting responsibility for what moves through you. It means allowing your name, your decisions, your boundaries, and your work to occupy space without apology. It means you stop handing the final word about your life to people who have not demonstrated the wisdom to guide it. Your visible authority may begin with a single conversation. It may be the boundary you have postponed. It may be the price you have been afraid to state. It may be the project you keep refining but never release. It may be the decision to speak about your experience without disguising every truth to protect the comfort of those who participated in your diminishment. The Council is not asking you to become loud for the sake of being noticed. It is asking you to become clear enough that those who are meant to find you can recognize the signal. Clarity is a beacon. It does not chase ships across the ocean, it simply shines from the shore. The right people will not need you to distort yourself before they can receive you. When you activate this authority, the table begins to form. Not because you are performing for your enemies, but because aligned people can finally locate you. The right collaborators cannot respond to a message you refuse to send. The people who need your medicine cannot receive what you continue to hide. The opportunities connected to your purpose cannot meet the version of you that remains committed to being undiscoverable. Implement this directive through one visible act within the next 24 hours. Share the truth you have been refining. Make the offer. State the boundary. Submit the application. Record the teaching. Ask for the support. Let one piece of your real work leave the private chamber and enter the world. Do not wait for the feeling of complete fearlessness. Authority is not the absence of trembling. It is the decision that trembling will not govern. The third directive is this: protect the table once it is prepared. You have learned how to survive scarcity, but you have not yet fully learned how to guard abundance. You know how to fight for an opening, but you sometimes leave the door unprotected once it appears. You have prayed for trustworthy community and then given immediate access to anyone who expressed curiosity. You have asked for prosperity and then allowed guilt to dismantle the structures required to sustain it. You have asked for peace and then continued entertaining conversations designed to disturb you. This must end. What is coming to you requires protection. Your time is not public property. Your attention is not an unlimited resource. Your home, body, schedule, finances, creative process, and spiritual practices are part of the mission field. If you do not protect them, the old pattern will return through familiar voices wearing the disguise of urgency, history, obligation, or affection. Protect your mornings from unnecessary noise. Protect your work from premature criticism. Protect your earnings from the belief that service means depletion. Protect your relationships from people who demand access without accountability. Protect your nervous system from repeatedly entering environments that require you to abandon yourself in order to belong. This is not punishment. It is stewardship. When you protect what the elders are placing before you, you demonstrate that you are prepared to hold it. The table is not merely a symbol of honor, it represents resources, influence, connection, and responsibility. If your first instinct is to invite every former enemy to sit beside you, examine whether you are seeking reconciliation or reopening the gate to the same pattern. If someone has changed, let their consistency establish that change. Do not grant access based on nostalgia, pressure, or the temporary discomfort of saying no. Implement this directive by establishing 3 non-negotiable protections. Choose one period of uninterrupted time for your mission. Choose one period of uninterrupted time for your mission. Choose one boundary around communication or access. Choose one financial or physical structure that supports your stability. Write them down. Tell the people who need to know. Then keep them without delivering a lengthy defense. The elders are not preparing a table so you can return to the place where you were starved. They are preparing it so you can eat, recover, gather strength, and serve from fullness. Now listen beyond the language of enemies. Some of the opposition you faced did not come from people who consciously wished you harm. It came from agreements you made while trying to survive. You agreed to remain small in exchange for belonging. You agreed to remain uncertain so others would not feel threatened. You agreed to overgive so no one could accuse you of selfishness. You agreed to confuse access with love. These agreements are expired. You are permitted to outgrow the version of yourself that made those agreements. You are permitted to disappoint people who only loved your availability. You are permitted to become unfamiliar to those who benefited from your lack of boundaries. You are permitted to let your success expose the limitations of their perception without trying to soften the revelation. The exposure of your glory will not look like a dramatic announcement in every case. Sometimes it will look like calm, where there used to be desperation. It will look like a full account, where there used to be financial fear. It will look like a body no longer braced for attack. It will look like your work helping people who never knew the story of what you survived to create it. It will look like you walking into a room without calculating whether you are welcome. That is the honor being restored. Do not reduce this moment by turning it into revenge. Revenge keeps you emotionally seated at the table of those who wounded you. The elders are asking you to leave that table. Let the evidence of your life speak without your constant supervision. Let the fruit mature. Let the results become visible in their own time. You do not need to announce every change. You do not need to convince anyone that you are no longer who they accused you of being. You need only become faithful to what you were sent to do. There may be a final test before the shift becomes obvious. Someone from the past may return with familiar language. They may offer an apology that is incomplete, an invitation that carries hidden conditions, or praise designed to regain access. Do not respond from hunger. Do not confuse being noticed with being honored. The Council directs you to examine fruit, not promises. Look for accountability, consistency, respect for your boundaries, and the absence of pressure. You can forgive without reopening the gate. You can wish someone well without giving them a seat at your table. You can release resentment without surrendering discernment. This is mature spiritual authority. Now I speak not as an observer, but as an elder authorized to release what has been held from you. Lightworker, you have waited longer than you admit. You have waited for the season to become safe enough. You have waited for your family to understand. You have waited for your peers to approve. You have waited for the wound to stop aching, for the resources to become abundant, for the path to become obvious, and for the people who harmed you to finally say, "We were wrong about you." But the deeper permission you were seeking was not permission to defeat them. You were seeking permission to stop carrying the burden of being misread. You were seeking permission to let your life become larger than the story told about you. You were seeking permission to receive without explaining why you deserve to receive. You were seeking permission to be powerful without becoming cruel, wealthy without becoming corrupt, visible without becoming performative, and protected without becoming closed. Receive that permission now. By the authority of the High Council of Vega and the ancestral wisdom carried through the Lyran line, I declare that you are no longer bound to the identity formed by rejection. The names placed upon you by fear do not govern your future. The judgments spoken over you do not outrank the assignment written within you. The doors that closed against you do not define the territory you are authorized to enter. You have permission to be seen accurately. You have permission to stop translating your brilliance into a language that makes insecure people comfortable. You have permission to accept honor without suspicion. You have permission to let goodness arrive without searching immediately for the hidden cost. You have permission to become successful in a way that supports your body, your household, your community, and the work you came here to complete. You have permission to receive support from people who do not need you to remain wounded in order to feel important. You have permission to leave the courtroom. You have permission to stop asking your enemies to confirm your innocence. You have permission to sit at the table prepared for you, not as a trophy placed before them, but as a living representative of what becomes possible when a soul refuses to abandon its assignment. Do not wait for perfect confidence. Do not wait for every past voice to fall silent. Your authority does not require unanimous agreement. The elders did not call you because no one would oppose you. They called you because opposition would reveal whether you were willing to stand without becoming what opposed you. Your glory is not the image others will see. It is the integrity with which you carry what they cannot see. It is the discipline to continue without applause. It is the restraint to avoid revenge when you finally possess influence. It is the wisdom to build a table large enough for those who are ready, while keeping the gate closed to those who only arrive to consume. This is the standard now. Before you sleep tonight, or before you begin your next day, stand with both feet on the ground. Place one hand over your solar plexus and one hand over your heart. Breathe slowly until you can feel the difference between fear and instruction. Then speak aloud. I release the need to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding me. I release every agreement that required me to remain small for the comfort of others. I activate my visible authority as an instrument of service. I protect my time, my energy, my resources, and the work entrusted to me. I receive honor without revenge and abundance without guilt. The table prepared for me is not a table of retaliation. It is a table of purpose. By the authority of the Lyran elders, I leave the courtroom. My waiting ends now. My service begins. After you speak these words, take one practical action that proves you heard them. Remove the contact you keep revisiting. Complete the application. Set the price. Publish the message. Clean the space where you work. Decline the invitation that violates your peace. Make the decision that your former self kept postponing. Do not perform the declaration and then return to the old agreement. The elders will not measure this moment by how intensely you felt it. They will measure it by what you do when the familiar pattern calls your name. When you are tempted to explain, choose clarity. When you are tempted to chase recognition, choose service. When you are tempted to give access out of guilt, choose stewardship. When you are tempted to hide because your growth may provoke someone, choose the assignment. The table is being prepared, but you must arrive as the person who can remain seated there. This transmission is complete, but your authorization is active. The Council has shown you what must be released, what must be activated, and what must be protected. Your honor will not be established by argument. It will be established through the undeniable coherence of your life. Let your work become the answer. Let your peace become the evidence. Let your boundaries become the confirmation that the old version of you is no longer available for exploitation. Those who once overlooked you may see you. Those who once opposed you may speak of you. Those who once dismissed your vision may eventually seek proximity to its results. Meet none of this with arrogance. Meet it with discernment. You are not rising to prove that they were beneath you. You are rising because people, places, and purposes are waiting for what only your obedience can deliver. Move now. Move while your hands still tremble. Move while some voices still question you. Move while the full shape of the table has not yet appeared. The elders do not require you to see every seat before you take your place. They require you to trust the directive, honor the preparation, and stop returning to the door that was closed for your protection. I am Zoran. The Council has witnessed your restraint, your endurance, and the light you carried through conditions that were designed to make you forget it. The season of hidden honor is ending. The glory they could not recognize will be revealed through the life you build now. Go in clarity. Go in protection. Go without revenge. Your enemies may see the table, but you are the one authorized to sit at it. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.